We're here at Mark's. We got here today, and it's just Rachel and I. And she was in the shop, and I was just sitting out on the little driveway area. And something twice hit the back of the shop. There's nobody out here. It's just us. Supposedly. Something hit the back of this thing.
And then it hit the side or somewhere.
So you heard it twice. Mm-hmm. You said once, just a second ago.
I said I heard it in there, but then when I walked out.
And then we both heard it.
Yeah.
And it's getting that time of day.
Yeah.
It's, the sun's going down. Fun. What do you think?
I know what I heard. It's in there by myself.
I mean, she's just right in there. We've been in town so much lately. We're used to hearing stuff. We're, been around people. We're used to hearing things. It took a second for it to register that I shouldn't be hearing that. And we're not afraid out here. I'm not saying that. If we were, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
There's one thing I was wanting to show y'all is you watched the last video that we made from here in October was me walking down to a little area and hearing something grunt at me like, ooh. It's exactly what I heard. Okay. So we were roughly in this area right here, like where the four-wheeler is. And I walked down to about right here. And that's whenever Mark was back down there and said, hey, walk down to this little road. And there is a little path right here. You'll see. Little path. And I was just standing here looking out this way. Here's the problem with what happened to me. There are no trees right here. Whatever grunted at me from right here had no trees to hide behind. And I didn't realize that until we got back here and I looked at this area. That makes the whole thing even a little more disconcerting. When I was over here, another 10 feet away, there are trees. Over here, not so much. So what do I do with that information? I don't know, but it creeps me out a little, and I'm not even going to lie to you about that. That something could be right here and I not see it. Now, it's dark, and I told you it's dark. For something to be right here and grunt at me and me not even see it at all, I don't like it. I don't like it a bit. It was up in here maybe 10 feet from me. Never heard anything moving, never heard any crunching, but I definitely heard something grunt at me. And that really does, especially after getting back here and looking at it, that weirds me out. I'm not even gonna, yeah, I don't know what to do with that information. I really don't. So we've been sitting out here quiet in the dark. It's not fully dark, but it's pretty dark. All of a sudden, it smelled like skunk. And obviously there's skunks around here.
Yeah, good.
And then it kind of went away, and then it came back way stronger.
And we heard a dog barking down here.
Almost like yelping down this way. And there are no houses that way for miles and miles and miles. Oh, I heard something.
It's probably badger.
It might have been. And the smell morphed from a skunk to like a...
It's a musty smell.
Real musty.
Yeah.
Real musty. Obviously you can hear all the insects. Yo, no, it's still pretty pungent out here.
Yeah.
It's still quite pungent.
Yeah, I heard that dog barking. I let Badger back in. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Walk out here. But there shouldn't be a dog barking down here. I mean, I know dogs explore and all that. I'm obviously I understand that, but the smell is still here.
It's not as pungent.
It's skunky, but it's not a skunk.
Musty.
It is.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, it smells like a skunk that hasn't bathed.
Yeah.
Like half of what you smell is like a just BO.
There it is.
Ooh, that is
Again.
tough smelling. Yeah. Oh, it's super loud out here.
He said a while ago that they were going hyper.
Yeah, like all of a sudden they
started going like
cranked up
crazy
like
on the whole volume.
Like 4 times the volume that they had been, just all in unison.
Yeah.
It was almost, I don't think so deafening, but it was really loud. It was stupid loud.
Well, when... Sorry. It's usually me that hears something.
Or smells it.
Or smells it. Because I know, I smelled it before he did. I was like, what in the heck is that?
It's still around.
Because, you know, that's what I do.
See, like these trees right here, it's a fairly narrow little strip of trees. It's not like I mean, it's probably 100 yards, and then it just feels that way. But back this way,
that's all forest.
You know, we've said 100 times, one thing we're not going to do is fabricate. No. Just not going to do it. What you see is what you get with us.
I don't know.
But the dogs barking down there.
Yeah, that's strange.
Is weird. I mean, it's forest, thick, dark forest. You're good. I never told the story. I came out here whenever we were here in March. I came out just to get out of the house for a minute. I'm going to point the camera this way so you know what's going on. Our van was sitting right here. And it was a really big storm came through.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, it washed the road out down here. It's really tough for this kid to get up and down this road. This road right here. The storm came through. And we were sitting in there. And right as the storm was ending, we heard a dog yelping out in here. Where it sounded like it was coming from was just out in here. It was 5 or 10 minutes later I came out. We'd been in the shop quite a bit because it had been raining. So I just came out here and stood. Keep in mind, the van was sitting about where the car is, and then you have this tractor right here. And I've been standing out here 2 or 3 minutes, and all of a sudden a little dog, about the size of this in here, hey, he just, okay, about the size of this one, looked a lot like him actually, just darker brown, walked out from behind the van and stopped about where that patch of grass is. He limped out, like his left rear leg. He limped out and he walked there and he turned around and looked at me all sad, like, come help me. It kind of disturbed me because I just wasn't expecting a dog to walk out from behind the van. So I just said, get out of here. So he limps from over here on this side of the tractor. And I stand here this is literally how long I was standing right here. I'd been leaning up against this. He walked out, looked at me, turned around and looked at me real sad. And I said, get out of here. He limped over here behind the tractor. After yelling, I stood here this long. So 3 seconds, walked over here, see where the dog had gone. No dog. Where did he go? He was limping, so he couldn't have run. I looked under the tractor. He wasn't there. There was nowhere for him to go. Was that a dog? You tell me. I don't know. I didn't chase it down, though. I didn't go out looking for it. But the fact that it took me 3 seconds. Something on my hat. In the 3 seconds where I yelled at him and then walked over here, absolutely nowhere for him to go. Told the story to a few people, and I don't think I've ever told it on this channel. You know, one of the things we haven't done much since we've been here is actually go out in the woods. We've been on trails quite a bit, but we haven't been up in the woods. This is the mirror up here, and really don't ask me why it's up here, it just is. But this looks like something did like that. Like, you know how a monkey would? I mean, that's like a primate's hands bend. They're more flexible than ours are. You know, and there's also some little markings lower. Maybe you can see them like right in here. Boy, it's hard to see. There's some, looks like some little hands or something marked across it. What are we looking at here, Udell?
Right up here.
Uh-huh.
I found it just a few days after it happened. This is all still had green leaves and everything on it.
Uh-huh.
And a couple weeks later, I brought a friend out here.
Okay.
6 feet, about 380 pounds. No offense.
No. I'm right at, I'm about 280, something like that.
280?
Yeah.
Okay. He's 380.
Oh no, he's a big boy.
Big boy. Okay. He's
Yeah.
He's well over 300 pounds. And he was a non-believer.
Uh-huh.
So I showed him this, and this is, you can see it's a little bit higher. He did this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He did this, 380 pounds, and it took him a minute just bouncing up and down before it finally gave.
Right.
So whatever did this was a little bit higher and had a little bit of strength to it.
Yeah, because there's no reason for that to be broke other than something broke it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely broke. It was light. It was green.
It was green when you found it.
Green. Leaves still on it. Definitely green. Leaves are still on this one. He broke this one. It was green, but it's half as big, a little bit lower.
Oh yes. I don't know if it shows on camera, but this one's quite a bit smaller than the other one is.
He broke it, but it took a lot of effort. And he just shade under 400 pounds to break this.
So, and just hanging on it essentially.
Yeah, just bouncing up and down with it.
Right.
Pretty stout, pretty heavy
Yeah.
young man, and whatever did that was obviously bigger and stouter than he was.
Because again, there's no reason for these to be broken.
Not lightning, not anything like that.
Oh no.
It's just been a little twist and a break.
And stuff like that's odd to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I told you, this guy was I call him a skeptic. I don't call him a non-believer. But he saw this and the amount of effort it took him to do this.
Whatever did that, did it intentionally.
Yeah.
What do you think the brakes are for, Udell?
I don't know. If it's just
Sign or something for them, or
trail markings.
A trail
or
marking?
Just mad at their significant other. I don't know.
that never happens. Like Rachel's never mad at me. Okay. Why did she hold up? You got some?
Get mad at once in a while.
Yeah, some. You went through some kind of. I don't know. Get that up.
Spider web.
It was something.
So
It was
I
black.
thought that was kinda
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. Yeah, because I
something with thumbs. Cause you got to go grab a hold of that. Cause
absolutely.
Yeah.
Something with opposable thumbs. Yeah, that's crazy.
in most bears in this country, maybe 250, they're not even 300 pounds. I
Yeah.
don't think. So,
Right.
I mean, he was on that smaller one hanging on to it, and it didn't break. So some people are gonna say, well, a bear may have crawled up there. If it did, it had to be a hefty one.
A hefty bear.
Yeah, 363.
Yeah, because is it mainly all black bears around here?
Yeah.
How'd y'all find that?
I always come check for tracks at this little pond.
Gotcha.
Sometimes you see,
Because it's water.
we see
Water.
mountain lion tracks. Like I said, you've actually seen. It rained last night, so it's a little bit muddy, but it's usually pretty clear.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen tracks that where something walked across it. So, pretty neat.
Hey, Rachel, is Badger up there? But he was up there. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Badger. you hear? What'd you hear, buddy? Yeah, they said they heard children talking down here a while ago. Sounds exactly like what I heard in Oklahoma when I was editing. And thought I heard like a child talking maybe 15 yards from the van. Badger. Badger. What you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna head back over there. We're sitting here and I had my soup. And I could have sworn I saw something walk across there. Well, I mean, like a man walked across there. Yeah, I don't. Watch out your window, baby. That was a little unnerving. I can't just sit there and pretend I didn't see something. It looked like somebody striding across quickly. Here, I'll pan you around. Hear a train in the distance. That's about probably 6 miles away. It would have walked across this way. I did not let Rachel get out. For anybody that asks, we both have a way to defend ourselves right now. Not saying how, not saying what, but we both have a way to defend ourselves. The van is locked. I hear birds and stuff, so I'm not too awfully concerned. I just don't know how anything would have walked up. Here. All this kind of stuff right here. I don't really like this. I literally don't even like walking back this way with my back to something. I'm not looking forward to nighttime now. Go back and get in the van and sit there. That was creepy. There he is. Oh, baby. So I don't know what to make of this. I could have sworn back in the area where we heard the howls coming from before that it sounded like a little kid screaming. And that's disconcerting. You know, I wouldn't even know where to begin to go looking, or even if I should go looking for it.
No.
But it sounded for all the world like a 5 or 6 year old little kid screaming. And I didn't hear a word. It was just more like just a scream. It could have been a bobcat.
Yeah.
But it's from the same area we heard the howls before. Exactly the same direction. Yeah, that I do not like.
No.
I don't want something that sounds like a human in distress, especially a child.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do right now. And now we've started hearing howls.
I've got my window all the way up.
Yeah. I haven't heard any more screams, but I've definitely been some howls. Roll your window down a little bit, just a little bit. Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this spot.
Yeah.
What is it about this spot?
I don't know.
Now there's one back over here.